semana, no pare, no pare, go. Fin de semana, no pare, no pare, no. Fin de semana, no pare, no pare, no. Fin de semana, no pare, no pare, no. Fin de semana, no pare, no pare. Yeah. Welcome back, baby. It is the Thego Lopez podcast, episode 16. What are we going to talk about this week? A couple of things. Mostly Argentina. And hopefully we'll get the facts right. Welcome back, everybody. We are so happy that you are here. Episode 16. We're doing things. We're building things. Building upon the things we're doing and growing. I believe that's how plants work. How is everybody? How are you doing? Are you guys stressed? Is it a stressful week? It's stressful. I'm dealing with the rat race that is the socioeconomic pyramid and what to do when you were supposed to be planning for the evolution of your career upon that socioeconomic ladder, the climbing of the rungs, if you will, you know? Some people, they climb up a ladder, and some people, they are working so hard and putting all their effort and all their arm strength into getting to the next rung and the next rung and the next rung, and then 15 years later, they realize they've been on monkey bars the whole time. Yeah, you little monkey, you haven't gone up at all. You've gone sideways, and that's not good. And that's kind of what happens when you become addicted to drugs like I did, and then waste your time on the streets doing said drugs. Because growing a career is hard. Doing drugs is easy. You guys want to do drugs? You don't have to try at all. I mean, you go outside. You ask enough people, someone's going to have drugs. It's a numbers game. Drugs is a numbers game. You just go out. You're like, do you have drugs? Do you have drugs? Do you have drugs? Do you have drugs? Eventually, someone's going to be like, yeah, I've got all the drugs. And that's the guy that you want to do drugs with. If you ask a guy if he has drugs and he's like, yes, what are the quantities of drugs that you would like to consume? That's a cop. Don't do that. Okay? That's a narc. You got to get out of there. Okay? But if he's like, yeah, I've got pipes and needles and stuff, that guy's got really good drugs. So just go out there and do drugs. But I'm not advocating for that. I wouldn't do that. I mean, it depends. Yeah, it depends. Like, do you have no inhibitions or ambitions in your life? Are you not planning on growing at all as a human being? Do drugs. Do all the drugs. Doesn't matter then. Are you trying to really refine a career and grow and buy a home? Unless you are already gifted with amazing talents of being a basketball player or a rapper, then don't do drugs, you know. And if you have that talent, then do drugs and die tragically at the age of 44. That seems to be what's happening. So many people dying in the news, dying because of drugs, and we're still not learning. I wonder what that is. Isn't that weird? We have learned things and grown quickly in some aspects. You know, we used to have lead in our gasoline, and we learned in less than the span of 80 to 100 years that's really, really bad, and you shouldn't be putting lead in the gasoline, and it's probably made us all a little dumber. But we are the dum-dums that cut it off. You got to think about that, right? They were smart. Then we all had lead in our gasoline, and then we all became dumb, but we still took it out of the gasoline, so we're not that dumb, okay? We did that in less than 100 years. We've been getting high for like 6,000 years, and we're still getting high. We haven't learned from any of that, you know? And some people say getting high isn't the problem, you know? Some people say you can, it's about your mental state of being. It's about who you are as a person before you get high. And that's how it determines whether it ruins your life or not, you know? You know what the problem with that malarkey is that normally it takes ruining your life for you to realize that it ruined your life. There's no analytical simulations that you can run. There's no The Sims for hardcore heroin addicts where you can kind of run the simulation again and again to see, should I do heroin? Nope. Usually you just have to do it and then do it and then do it a whole lot more and then have trouble finding it to do it and then do like substitutes of the things that you wanted to do and then start stealing and do it again. And then it ruins your life. But you don't really get to have a practice run of ruining your life. And we make mistakes. And we get up. And we learn from those mistakes. And we keep living. And sometimes we get really far. I mean, look at me. I'm in a studio, baby, making a podcast with sponsors like Trinity Star Traders and the Pink Gorilla Espresso Bar. I don't know if they're really a sponsor, but you know what? I bet you if I went up to that coffee bar and I was like, hey, can I get a coffee? They would make me a coffee. They'd probably charge me. I'd pay. And I'd pay. You know why? Because that's the most delicious coffee I've ever had at the Pink Gorilla Espresso Bar. So if you're near a Pink Gorilla and you smell the coffee beans, you go over there and you ask them for a latte, and they're gonna. I don't even know what word to use. I'm gonna make up a new word. They're gonna rankling to for 9 your day. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. That's the exact word. And don't ask me to repeat that word because I already forgot it. But that's how good it is. They're going to rantinclinfernai your day with their coffee. That's right, rantinclinification. There we go. We're coming up with that word. Let's see if we can spell it right here. Boom. That's the word. And what does this word mean? It means a delicious coffee experience solely had by the Pink Gorilla Espresso Bar. Go there. Thank you for possibly being a sponsor. I don't know. And Trinity Star Traders. If you're going to Neotropolis 2027 and you want to do some barter and you got some Neo creds that are burning a hole in your pocket, then you come over to Trinity Star Traders. And we got the best stuff. We're going to have, right now, I'm looking into some really rare figurines, 100-year-old books, and robotic arms to have for trade. And we're going to have clothing for sale. We won't have heroin because, you know what? That's bad and that's illegal. So that's good. You know what I mean? Yay, robotic arms. Boo, heroin. Okay? And that's what we stand for. And that's a 3-star promise you can get behind. Trinity Star Traders, okay? Thank you. Thank you for being a sponsor. It's episode 16. It's episode 16, and the numbers are consistent. They're consistently low, but you know what? They're consistent. They haven't dropped down to 0, and that's pretty good. So what you don't want is numbers going down in the podcast game. You want them going up, but you don't want them going down. But if they're kind of steadily a chug-a-lug-a-lugging, a chug-a-lug-a-lugging, a chug-a-lug-a-lugging along, then eventually they're gonna climb up. Like my Shiba Inu coin, you know? It's just been kind of trudging along there at the bottom at 0.00000009 or whatever. But it'll shoot up one day, and then to the moon, and then Lamborghini. That's the plan. Hopefully, that's the plan. So, getting back to what we were talking about, the socioeconomic the ladder, the pyramid scheme, if you will, to some people. I am trying to move up, and it's difficult to move up with my particular set of skills. I've got a particular set of skills, and I didn't really refine them, so it's not very easy for me to move up here. But I'm doing it. So here's my situation where I am in logistics. I deal with supply chain analytics and lots of other big words that I'm not going to bore you with. But I basically organize. It's just a fancy word of saying that I organize things, and I make sure that things are efficient, and I make sure that things that need to go from here to there, not only do they go from here to there, they go there with the least amount of cost as possible, okay? And in this country, it means, gas costs, fuel consumption, warehouse and storage facilities, In other countries, it might be greasing a border guard's hand, in order to kind of get your Isuzu pickup truck to your Isuzu box truck full of off-brand knockoff Coach purses to get through the Chechnyan border, But it's still logistics, okay? And the job market right now is horrendous. So where I was born a little boy, un puertorriqueño pequeñito, hola mamá, soy boricua, and I grew up, and then at around 16 years old, started working, as we all did. Started working at 16 years old and gathered experience. You're supposed to gather experience. And that way, by the time you're 36, you've got 20 years of experience in that particular field. Okay? Listen to me, young people. All right? Listen to me, young people. Are you like 18 years old and you're listening to this podcast? Wow, that's a surprise. But thank you for being here, okay? Whatever industry you're in, make sure it's one that you like and stick with it. It doesn't matter what it is. Are you in the food industry? Okay, question number 1. Do you like being in the food industry? Yay, good. Question 2. Do you like people? No. Oh, you want to hit them over the head with a cast iron skillet every time you clock into the restaurant? Then maybe you need to find a new line of work. But find it now. Because you don't want to do 10 years of food service and then realize, oh, I wish the world would burn. And it's because I don't like dealing with people. And then you cross over to, let's say, real estate. And now everyone else that has been doing real estate since they were 16 to 18 has 10 years leg up on you. And you are very, very behind. So whatever you do, stick with that industry and find the industry that suits you. Now, does that always work perfectly? No, that does not always work perfectly, because we live in a little thing called Earth. And on Earth, things are changing rapidly, and things are moving at a blinding pace that you think that you're going to do a thing, but then that thing becomes like very outlawed and bad, and then it could be the opposite. There are people that are in prison for selling pot, and then they get out of prison after being in prison for selling pot, and they see dispensaries everywhere. That's got to be mind-boggling. That's got to really put a damper on your day. Getting out of prison and then being on probation. Think about that. You get out of prison and you're on probation, and then they say you're not allowed to smoke pot. Also, pot is legal now. So that time that you did in prison, if you would have just waited to do that, no prison time whatsoever. Actually, the bank would have probably given you a loan for a small business startup so that you can sell cannabis and cannabis vapes and cannabis mango flavored gummy bears to the masses. But you were too early to the game. And then there's the opposite, where people spent years and years refining their ability to code, to create programs from C++ and Python and JavaScript and HTML and BASIC. And I know I'm going backwards with that list, but you see what I'm saying. And then now all you got to do is just open an AI chatbot and it'll do all that automatically. And you're like, well, what did I spend all of this time for? To learn all these things, and now my thing is useless. Not only that, the market is saturated with people who are pretending to know what I do, but they don't. They're just using an AI bot. And that's got to put a damper in your day as well. A lot of people with a damper on their days. So I would say, Mr. Rejuvenated, what's that called? Rehabilitated, Mr. Rehabilitated weed dealer, you need to learn to code. Hey, Mr. Coder, you need to go sell cannabis in a dispensary. But, point is, find the industry that works for you, okay? You don't work for it until it can work for you, all right? Because, again, what you do now is just compounding interest of experience as to how much you're going to get paid in the future. So, old Thego Pants here, all right, who at 16 years old went into the audio video industry, then at 20 decided to get into sales, then at 24 got into the restaurant industry, then at 27 got into all of the drugs. I did so much drugs. That's what I did. So many drugs. I did all the drugs. In your mind right now, think of a drug. You got it? I did it. You're welcome. Yeah, all of them. All of them. And then took a 10-year gap from 27 to about 37 to just straight up just do drugs. Lose my car, lose my house, lose my family, lose my home, end up getting homeless, end up under a bridge, pushing a shopping cart, accepting that as life, roaming around town, digging through trash cans. I didn't write a book. I should probably have written a book. Someone else wrote a book, and they're doing well with it, you know? But then when I finally got out of it and I said, okay, now I need to be humble because I'm getting back into this society and everyone seems to hate everyone. That was a real weird thing where I left society with the economic collapse of 2008. And I rejoined society when Trump became president. So it was a whirlwind of change that I had not seen. And now I gotta integrate into this new evolved or de-evolved, I can't yet decide, society. And I had to start over from scratch. So now I am in logistics and supply chain analytics, and I have 8 years of experience where everyone else that is 43 has, let's do the math, if they started at 16, 26, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 26 freaking years of experience, which 26 minus 8 is 18. They have a barely legal teen's worth of experience over me in supply chain analytics. And that really makes me feel kind of fucked. Much like the barely legal teen. Okay? Yeah. So I'm here competing with all these people. Oh, right. And let's not forget the layoffs, the economic collapses that we've had, the turn of events involving AI, and just all that mess. So now many people, many tens of thousands of people are out of a job. And I'm in the epicenter of it all because I'm in the Bay Area. So a lot of those jobs that were lost are here. A lot of those Google engineers are here. A lot of those Pinterest and Facebook engineers, guess where they are? Here. Yeah, all competing for those jobs, all trying to get whatever they can before their Google stock runs out. So it's been an ordeal. But I think I just got an interview potentially with a company, and I'm not going to say the name of the company, but it seems like one that could actually pay, because the company that I'm working with now is, I like my job. I like where I'm at, but it's a small company. There's no growth. There's no room for growth, There's no place to go. I'm on the monkey bars right now. My job is the monkey bars, and I'm just swinging as fast as I can to the next thing. And hopefully the monkey bars end at a ladder, and I can go up that ladder, and hopefully that ladder doesn't have any missing rungs. And usually the rungs are not missing because the ladder is not well made. The rungs are missing because the guy that was climbing it before you removed those rungs so that you can't climb up. Yeah. Usually in life, you don't fall through cracks. Someone makes a crack and then sweeps you towards it. That's how life works. So, if you're going to be dumb, at least be clever. This week we are going to talk about, I love talking about, if you listen to this podcast, I love talking about America's allies and learning about America's allies and learning about the network that is the world, because that's really what we are. We are a country, right? We are a country, but these headphones are made somewhere that isn't here, and this microphone is made somewhere that isn't here, and this microphone stand, and this microphone wire, Sometimes this wire has to come from another country, usually China, and then this little doodad here that holds up my hair, holds up the Thego hair, has to come from another country, usually China, and all of the components in this computer have to come from, all right, most of it comes from China, but other stuff comes from other places. If you got a Subaru, right? If you've got yourself, I don't know. It's hard to know. but I'm telling you, there are people that aren't Chinese that build things and they send them here. Okay? It's just the Chinese are the best at building the things for the cheapest amount of money, so everyone buys it from them. And thus they're able to streamline their processes and make things even cheaper. So it's kind of like LeBron practicing at 4 a.m. when everyone else starts practicing at 6 a.m., At a certain point, it's impossible for anyone to make any sort of gain because LeBron is so... is it LeBron? Kobe Bryant. Kobe is so far ahead. So China is like the Kobe Bryant of trinket manufacturing. They've been doing it for so long, and they're so efficient at it. But we have a collection of countries that we also like to trade with. Check your tariff schedule, everybody. And those countries we call allies. And this week's ally is Argentina. Argentina is a country in South America. Did I do any other research beside that? Have you seen the podcast? No. No, I have not. But in later episodes, I promise we're going to get back to this and we'll do more research, but I'm just really swamped. But we have Google right here, and that's what I like about it, okay? So if we come here and then we just type in, how did Argentina, I really got to learn to type better too, Argentina become an ally to the U.S.? And then AI will hopefully not hallucinate like it's tripping on mescaline and tell me that would be a good AI name, Microsoft Mescaline, because it's always hallucinating. You on that Microsoft Mescaline, boy. Let's see. Argentina became a key ally to the United States through a combination of diplomatic support during the Cold War. Ooh, that sounds so juicy. What? That sounds like some covert operative shit. That's pretty cool. Diplomatic support during the Cold War, anti-terrorism agreements, and shared modern economic interest. That's what I'm talking about, baby. You make some trinkets, Argentina, and then you send them our way. I don't know what you make. I've heard you had nice beef. We love your beef, Argentina. Hey, Argentina, where's your beef? Give it to us. So, in 1998, the United States officially designated Argentina as a major non-NATO ally. This status gave Argentina preferential access to U.S. military equipment. Whoa, all right, so you got the good bombs. See, we send over the good bombs your way. You're closer to the bad guys. If stuff happens, we ring-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Hey, push that button. Which one? The red one? Yeah. Beep. Done. Bad guys, bye-bye. Thank you, Argentina. Enhanced cooperation on defense, counterterrorism, and international peacekeeping, because that's what America does. We keep the peace. And so much peace is out there needing to be kept from all the chaos that we rain down upon it. So the United States causes a lot of chaos. That chaos needs to be made peaceful, and so then we keep the peace. It's kind of a, what's that called? Ouroboros or whatever. Again and again and again, okay? Cyclical, some would call it. Psychotic, others would call it. But you know what? This is home, all right? Love it or hate it, this is our home. This is America, all right? This is what we got, okay? Are you inventing any of the things? No? Then shut the hell up, all right? You got a better system? Make it. Please. YouTube is free. You got a better system than this one? Type it up and make a podcast. I will listen to it. I will be the first one to listen to it. If you're like, hey, this capitalist thing, it's not really working, I got a better system. And I'm like, okay, I'm all ears. Please tell me. And you're like, well, everyone's going to have, a nice amount of stuff. Good. So far, it's good. And then there's going to be healthcare for everyone. Great. And also, I'm going to be in charge of everything. See, that's always where it leads. It's always where it leads. It's everyone has the best of intentions until people start disagreeing. And then when you're trying to create a system and people disagree with your system, and then you start bringing out guns and pointing guns at people so that they agree with your system, it kind of gets a little dicey. So if you've got a better system, please let us know. How will it work? How can you stop the chaos that's happening? But until then, this is what we got. Sit down at the dinner table. We're having lentils. Okay? All right. Cold War and democracy. For decades, Argentina pursued a strict neutral stance in global politics. However, after Argentina returned to a democratic government in 1983, that's a year after old Tego Pants was born. I was just a little bebe in Puerto Rico. the country's leadership shifted closer to Western ideals, which is ideals that we love. Thank you, Argentina, for being an ally. In 1990s, the administration of President Carlos Menem adopted an openly pro-U.S. foreign policy, aligning with Washington on regional issues and counter narcotics, which, I mean, a lot of people in America are kind of on the fence about, because they're like, well, we like that you're, combating the drug trade, but also so many of us do drugs. That's the problem with counter narcotics, We want to stop the drug dealers, but so many of us are doing drugs, okay? That's kind of counterproductive. It's kind of never going to work. You know what, guys? At the Thego Lopez podcast, I have come up with a way that we can eliminate drug dealing and drug trafficking overnight. I have. It's taken years to formulate, but I've done it. I have the plan, guys. Everybody, I hope you're excited. I have a foolproof plan. Do you understand me? Do you understand what I'm saying right now? A foolproof plan to stop all drug trafficking on Earth. And it can happen within a week, okay? All right? Everybody has to be on board, okay? And it will work. Are you ready for the plan? Here's the plan. Stop buying drugs. There. That's it. That's it. If you keep buying drugs, people are going to keep importing drugs. Stop buying drugs. So, if everybody can stop buying drugs, they have nothing to sell. Let's see how well that plays out. Yeah, I didn't think so. It's not going to happen because so many people want to get high. So many people in America want to get high, There's going to be numbers. There's going to be percentages, but I can safely guess. I feel like I can with a fair amount of accuracy say all of us want to get high. Every single one of us. I want to get high right now. I just don't. I don't have a little discipline, all right? I know. Well, I mean, yes, I get high, but not on the stuff that's ruining the world. I get high on caffeine. That's a drug. If you drink coffee, you do drugs, okay? If you need to, have you had a mocha freeze from Costco? That's basically crack. It will get you twacked. You will get twacked on a mocha freeze, my friends. It's got like 350 milligrams of caffeine. It's got more shot than a freaking 12 gauge. It's so good. Do you do the cigarette? You like the cigarette? You like the vapes? You like the puff on the old vape? You're doing drugs. Okay? We're all doing drugs. All of us. Okay? But the ones that stop you from coming in on Monday, those are the ones that they're trying to combat. And still, way too many people like to do those and not come in on a Monday and then called sick at 7:30 in the morning. Oh, I've got a case of the meth mumps. Did I say meth? Sorry. I've got the heroinitis, Just don't buy drugs. Don't buy drugs. If nobody buys drugs, drug dealers can't sell drugs, Are you anti-Starbucks? Are you like, I want a local cafeteria that I can buy overpriced lattes at and get mean looks when I'm sitting at a table for more than 35 minutes? I love it. Well, then stop buying Starbucks. But too many people buy Starbucks and go crazy for their Hello Kitty cups. and all their merchandising. That's how they do it. They can sell the drugs because we will buy the drugs. Yes. Thank you, Argentina, for your counter-narcotics alignments. Modern economic and trade agreements. Back to Argentina. The alliance evolved to focus heavily on the economy and international trade. The two countries signed landmark framework. Ooh, I love all those things. I love work, I love frames, I love lands, and I love marks. Aimed at opening reciprocal trade, boosting U.S. investment in Argentina's energy and mining sectors. There we go, baby. You got the stuff we want. You got those precious minerals. I was wondering when I was like, all right, why? it's like saying a fat old guy date a hot chick. It's like, what? Oh, okay. Then you see them walk towards the Ferrari, and you're like, all right, I got you. Yeah. Mining sectors. I like that. And increasing Argentine agricultural exports. The beef. Yum, 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 yum. Today, the U.S. and Argentina maintain a close relationship based on shared democratic values, awesome, economic goals, better. They cooperate closely on important issues in the Western Hemisphere, such as counterterrorism, boom, working together to monitor and stop the extremist activities, to stop all the Osama bin Ladens in the world. Human rights, we like that. Human rights are good. Holding regular dialogues to promote fair labor laws and civil liberties. We love that here. I heard in the UK it's kind of eroding, but here we still got fair labor laws if you can find a job. In order to have those labor laws, you got to find a job, and it's getting difficult. And technology and energy, partnering on the development of critical minerals and modern energy infrastructura. Something like that. Argentinians, correct me in the comments below. So, let's look at some Argentinian news and let's see what's going on in the Argentinas, okay? Let's see. So we type in Argentina news site : star.ar, I believe, is their website extension. Yes. Okay, so we got the Buenos Aires Times. What language do they speak in Argentina? Is it Spanish? I know Spanish. I can do Spanish. Uh-oh. Surging unemployment is Milei's biggest political threat. Who's Milei? Hold on. Let's see. Argentina. Who is Milei? Oh, it's this guy. It's Captain Sideburns. Boom. This guy. Captain Sideburns. Don't tell me his girl does not call him Captain Sideburns in the bedroom. Oh, my God. Yeah. How do you say sideburns in Spanish? Let's see. Translate. I love my computer. It's just you can it's a plethora of information right at your fingertips. And I know I speak Spanish, okay, but I don't know all the Spanish words, all right? Let's see. Sideburns. And then how do you say sideburns? Capitan Patillas. Boom. Capitan Patillas. I like that. All right, so let's see what they say about surging unemployment. We're going to say it in Spanish and in English, since I can speak Spanish, okay? So it says, President Javier Milei lowered inflation, good, and poverty in Argentina, all good things so far. Thank you, Captain Sideburns. While eliminating its budget deficit, yeah, but the nation's labor market is still mired in the crisis he was elected to confront. Guys, he's already taken care of two amazing things. Be patient, all right? Be patient with him, all right? For a second straight year, the South American economy is growing, yet employment is falling in the formal sector, where workers have a salary, benefits, and health care. Ooh. Those are very good things to have all together bundled into one, you know? If there's a C's Candies box and you open it up, you want those three candies to be right next to each other. the salary creamy filling, the benefit bars, and then the healthcare truffles. Just all there, all in one. Yum, 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 yum. Those job losses represent arguably the top threat to Milei's re-election bid next year. Does it? Because the economy is growing and he's doing a lot of good stuff for inflation and poverty. You know? I think he's got a pretty good chance still. It says Argentina has lost 241,000, ouch, 241,000 private sector payroll jobs since Milei took office. Is it his... Oh, 4%. That's not that bad. Is that bad? Is that not bad? Say in the comments below, Argentinians. Is that bad? Do you think like there's no jobs, or is this just hype? While his administration has cut 73,000 state employees, wow, official figures show the number of private sector employers has fallen to 482,000 companies, the lowest level since 2007, according to think tank Fundar. What is the think tank Fundar? Nothing but good things come out of think tanks. Am I right? Let's see. Monitor mensual, monthly company monitor. Ooh, wow. Wow, dude, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Okay. We intend to analyze the state of Argentine companies month by month. So the latest data in May 2026 tells us that 2,371 companies have closed. 16,560 companies in the last year have closed. Man, that's... Oh, wow. But compared to 2002, so in 2002, there were like 300,000, and now there's 400,081. So it all depends on how big of a timeline you're looking at. Because right now, this graph that I like, here, let me show you this graph right here. Boom. This looks good, okay? That looks good. Just be patient. It's just going down a little bit. It can't go up, up, up forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. That's not how things work, you know? Okay? So part of the shift in concerns is a result of Milei's success in bringing down inflation from triple-digit territory. Wow. And higher unemployment isn't always a deal breaker for voters. Exactly. Thank you, Milei. You are going to be fine. You're going to be fine. People like you. You're going to be fine. Let's see. What if I went back to the detected language? Oh, it's in English already. It's not even in Spanish. Okay. What else? What other things? Ooh, we've got a murder mystery here. What's this? Former Milei aide. Oh, man, you got people popping caps down there, Milei. Let's see. Argentine political strategist Fernando Cermedo is under arrest in Bolivia after a woman who says she is pregnant with his child survived a shooting and accused him of orchestrating the attack. Yeah, you gotta, oh man. And you're a strategist? You're a strategist with a failed assassination attempt? Who is going to hire you now? Nobody. Oh my God, you are not good at anything. Damn. Former left-wing MAS congressional candidate Nadia Beller was shot 3 times. Ouch. Wait. A congressional candidate. Ooh, so it's all in the same circles. She was shot 3 times outside a hotel in Santa Cruz on Monday evening by 2 people dressed as motorcycle delivery workers. Beller is recovering in intensive care, from where she spoke to media and prosecutors. The attacker stole her purse and phone before fleeing. Cermedo was arrested when he stepped off a plane in Santa Cruz Airport and is being and is being investigated for attempted femicide. Whoa. Attorney General Roger Mariaca told reporters. Mariaca said prosecutors will ask a judge to order Cermedo's pretrial detention. But did they say, like, she thinks he did? But were they like, when they came up to shoot her, were they like, es un mensaje de Fernando Cerimedo, blah, 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 you know? Say, Fernando says hello, blah, 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 blah. Did they say his name? How do they know that he has anything to do with it? She just said that she thinks he did, and then they arrested him? Guys, I thought we just talked about civil liberties. Did we not? Did we not? I hope that there's more evidence, because it doesn't really show. Cerimedo was formally named as a suspect by Brazil's federal police in 2024 as part of the investigation into the attempted coup, for which Jair Bolsonaro was later convicted and sentenced to 27 years in prison. Federal prosecutors, however, ultimately did not bring charges against Cerimedo. Ooh, you may have made some enemies. You may have made some enemies, and now they're coming to get you. Cerimedo is close to Eduardo Bolsonaro. Yeah. Sorry to hear that. I hope you make a full recovery, woman who was shot, and I hope the person who did this is brought to justice. If it was this guy, then, then let it be him. This guy right here. I mean, he is just, is inflation affecting how much hair people can have? Because he does not have much hair. He looks like a tan Powder. I don't know if people get that reference. That was an old movie, Powder. Can we show the original Powder? Boom. And then show him. Boom. There you go. Yeah. Let's see. What other stories are happening now? Let's see. Oh, it's not going back. Wait, it's not going back. I want to go back. Okay. Let's see. How families in Malaysia, Argentina sank deep into debt. So it's all about debt. It's like they're really trying to smear Milei. I don't think this. It's kind of giving Trump vibes. You know what I mean? How like you go to certain news organizations and then there's just nothing good to be said about Trump, and then you go to other news organizations and they say nothing bad about Trump. It's like neither one of them is fair and balanced. One is shot in this direction and the other one is in that direction. So let's look for another news site and see if maybe we get something different. Let's see. News and events. Infobay. Infobay. You got my Infobay? INFOBAE. Hacemos periodismo. Trump anunció una ofensiva económica sin precedentes contra el régimen iraní para cortar sus vías de financiamiento. That means that Trump is angry at Iran still. And he's trying to attack them economically. So we're going to see if that works. There we go. See, this is what I like. Después. Suscríbete a nuestras notificaciones. Nah, I think I'll go a después. Thank you. All right, so el presidente estadounidense. It's a weird word, man. United States, estadounidense. Advirtió que los gobiernos que permitan a sus instituciones, empresas o entidades públicas mantener mecanismos de asistencia a Teherán enfrentarán fuertes represalias. So if you're a business and you're trying to do business with the business of Iran, it's not going to go good for you. That is what he's trying to say. Okay? So we'll say that in English now. The U.S. president warned that governments that allow their institutions, companies, or public entities to maintain mechanisms of assistance to Tehran will face severe reprisals. You will be reprised, like a Sublime CD. You will be reprised. U.S. President Donald Trump announced on Wednesday a new economic offensive against Iran that he said would be the most devastating operation of its kind ever. applied against a country and would aim to completely isolate the Islamic Republic. Trump said the situation in Hormuz is very good and ruled out further negotiations with Iran. It cannot have a nuclear weapon. So, let's see if that works. Let's see. And also, I like you, InfoBay, because this is information on President Trump that is objective. It is the president. He's doing something. He's doing something against a country. This is what he's doing. We don't really get that here. Sometimes I feel like I have to get my president news from outside of the country because every single story that I read about President Trump either starts with, this stupid idiot President Monster Trump, or our Lord and Savior, the anointed Trump. It's like you can't just give me news. You can't just give me objective news. You got to inject your frickin' opinion into it all the time. It gets a little exhausting. I like that. Who is he? U.S. President Trump. What did he do? He announced. When did he do so? On a Wednesday. I like that. I like this news. Let's see what other news they have. Let's click on InfoBay World News. Let's see. Oh my. Telemundo confirmed the death of one of its executives in the helicopter crash in Kenya. Death? Kenya? Let's see what's going on. And that'll be the last story because I got to go because it's 7:15 and they're starting to close down behind me. The crash of a Eurocopter EC-130B4. Don't be. That's mean, guys. Don't say the model of the helicopter. They're trying to sell helicopters, guys. And now you've put a scarlet letter on the Eurocopter EC-130B4. I mean, am I going to get into a Eurocopter EC-130B4? Hell no, because it just crashed and killed this guy. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Come on, guys. Near Mount Ololokwe, I think that's how they would say it, in Samburu, left 6 passengers and the pilot dead. That sucks. Among them was Jose Alberto Suarez, station manager in Florida, the Civil Aviation Authority reported. Wow. A Telemundo executive died Wednesday in a helicopter crash in northern Kenya. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. My condolences to your family. Among the victims was Jose Alberto Suarez, president and general manager of 3 of the network stations in Florida. All right, so what is this guy, like the Justin Timberlake of this frickin' helicopter crash? It's Justin Timberlake and the rest of the guys in NSYNC, right? No one knows that. It's set up here. Where was it? 7 killed. There was other people in that helicopter. And I've already read 2 sections of this story and still no other names other than Jose Alberto Suarez. I mean, look at him, though. I mean, he's so happy. He's a very happy person. I get it. I get it. He looks like he calls his mother regularly. You know? You know what I mean? He looks like he has an aquarium at home and none of the fish ever die, because he remembers to regularly feed him. He looks like the kind of guy who donates his time to a homeless shelter that serves soup in the wintertime. I like this guy. This Jose Alberto Suarez. But there are other people on the helicopter too. Who were they? According to the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, there were no survivors. 6 passengers that nobody gives a shit about, and the pilot, who is also unnamed, died. Emergency teams, including the Kenyan Red Cross and supported by drones, go drones, had difficulty accessing the crash site due to the difficult terrain and the fire that engulfed the aircraft after the impact. Ooh, engulfment is bad. Authorities suspended operations at nightfall to resume the following day. Okay. And then it goes into the career path of Jose Alberto. He hosted Telemundo 31, Telemundo 49, and Telemundo Fort Myers, Naples from 2024. After a career of more than 25 years in the U.S. media, 18 of them at Telemundo and NBC. He held management positions in Sacramento, Las Vegas, Fresno, Salt Lake City, and San Antonio. Good guy. And totally shadowed over everyone else. No, still, no one is really listed here. Yeah. I'm so sorry to Jose Alberto Suarez and those other 6 jack-offs and some pilot that we don't care about. Yeah. So, if you want to be remembered well at the end of your life, go host the news at Telemundo, and that will make you a greater person to the world, and they'll care about you when you die in a flaming helicopter accident in a Eurocopter EC-130B4. I'm so sorry, Eurocopter. I'm so sorry for the negative press that you're about to get. It might not even been your fault. You might make a perfectly decent helicopter, but now you are jaded. You got a Jadocopter, okay? All right, everybody. I think we are reaching the end of our podcast. As always, thank you. Thank you for listening. To the people that listen, I appreciate you so freaking much. We're going to try to get more episodes onto the Sonoma County Library website. They got a public access channel, so you can see us on public access. If you still have cable TV, if you do that sort of thing, public access, the Thego Lopez podcast, we're coming at you. So I'm going to edit more and try to get them G or PG. And, I cuss every now and then, but I try not to. But who has the fucking time to never cuss, It's this world. It's this epoch that we're living in. And you might drop a couple of F-bombs, all right? So everybody take care. Stay sane. I love you all. And I'll see you next week.